Well, guys, Ireland versus the Wallabies. Joe Schmidt, wow, they played well, but Andy Farrell's guys were too strong in the end. Anyway, let's get into this review. Guys, in this review video, I'm going to be covering three main areas. Who played well in the first and second halves from between Ireland and the Wallabies. Number two, what helped win or lose the game from both sides. And number three, who are the players to watch from both sides that were crucial in deciding the result between the Wallabies and Ireland. Look, firstly, you look at the first half, 19 minutes in. Yeah, I sort of thought that the start of the game was quite slow. There was a lot of errors, etc. But certainly 9 minutes in, geez, that crossfield kick to Suali, geez, that was clever. Definitely the Joe Schmidt factor involved there. And then look, some pretty slick passing out the back door from Len Ikitau and then try on the left corner to Jorgensen. So superb execution by the Wallabies. It was only a matter of time till the Ireland side fired and came back. So there was a good try to Josh van der Fleer in response, building a lot of pressure up front, brought that physicality to the Wallabies. Yeah, and then ultimately the Wallabies were winning 13 points to 5. So guys, let me know your thoughts on that. Probably not many people thought the Wallabies would be leading that match at half time. So at that point, I thought, look, the game's going to go either way. It wouldn't have surprised me if the Wallabies came back and fired in the second half. They scored 2 tries in the second half and the Wallabies might have won comfortably. But I thought, definitely that 10 minutes after half time was going to be pretty crucial. So, geez, Ireland, they came out after half time, didn't they? That first 10 minutes, geez, they fired. There's a good penalty and then a try to Caelan Doris just under the sticks. And then ultimately Ireland were well back in it. I just thought, and guys, let me know your thoughts on this though, the Irish side, geez, that attack, they certainly threw a lot of phases at the Wallabies. But just what I thought, their passing was just, instead of catching the ball out front, there was often a lot of passes here, and it just gave the Wallabies an extra second to come up or regroup. And yeah, their attack execution was just well off, I thought, and very pedestrian at times, just going through the motions. It was a lot of phases, but side to side, and just not really testing that Wallaby side. So there was that held up maul try 71 minutes in, and at that point, I thought, yep, this is shut up shop. This is a win to the Aussies. But yeah, Ireland kept it going and ultimately got that maul try. And then the Wallabies, they weren't able to come back, and there was that poor couple of phases, but it was a pretty poor pass from Suali. He should have just carried the ball straight, but he tried to go out the back door. So yeah, the Wallabies just couldn't quite take their chances at the end of the game, and ultimately that maul try at the end clinched it for Ireland. Full time 22-19 for Ireland against the Wallabies. Guys, if you're enjoying this content so far and you've enjoyed previous videos, please show some support for the channel. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like, add comments under the video. Show some support for the channel, and this channel will certainly grow and get better with your support. So guys, looking at both sides, look, Ireland, geez, they controlled the game pretty well. That second half, they took their chances in the second half. But from me, and guys, let me know your thoughts on this, particularly for Ireland, they're kind of a bit like the All Blacks. Their attack execution is just really well off. Like, they're going through and putting some pressure on the Wallabies with a number of phases, but certainly the balls weren't getting caught out front. There just didn't seem to be the Irish players on attack running dangerous lines to really test the Wallabies. Really pedestrian, guys. And certainly, I just think they really are missing that Johnny Sexton factor, For me, guys, I look back to when Ireland were phenomenal. They won the series against the All Blacks. And from me, I just thought the amount of possession the Irish side had, if they had that possession, back in the Johnny Sexton era, there probably would have been another 3 tries they would have scored. So they're building, aren't they, guys? I just thought, look, their defense was phenomenal. Geez, they're a tough team to crack, aren't they, physically? They bring that line speed. They really shut down the Wallabies. But also they don't seem to group, on defence. They span out quite nicely. Particularly, there wasn't a lot of space out wide or space for the Wallabies to really test the Irish. So their defence is phenomenal. So final stats of the game, though, and this just sort of supports it. Territory, 69% territory to the Irish and 31% to the Wallabies. So clearly that shows the game was dominated by Ireland. Most of it was played in the Wallabies half, and just they weren't able to execute on attack the way they would have liked. Similarly, possession, 58% to Ireland and 42% to the Wallabies. So again, they've won by a reasonable margin in the territory and possession, but they just weren't able to execute and get the points from it. So back to the drawing board for Andy Farrell there, guys. Looking at the Wallabies, firstly, wow, their defence. Guys, let me know your thoughts on this, but that's the best defence I've seen from the Wallabies all season. Like, the way they were spanning out, the way they brought that physicality and the line speed. They really got in the face of the Irish and tackled well, brought that physicality. Yeah, and I think there you're starting to see the Joe Schmidt factor. He is one scary, scary coach. He's phenomenal with what he can do with rugby teams, isn't he? I thought on attack, you saw that they went out the back door quite frequently. It certainly tested the Ireland defence. And look, they're getting some really good ball carriers, aren't they? Look, the likes of Harry Wilson and Rob Valentini, they're really carrying that ball hard and testing that advantage line. And when the Wallabies get over the advantage line, they have quite a dangerous attack, guys. So one thing I would say about the Wallabies, though, yes, they didn't get over the line today, but for them to only narrowly lose the game when they were dominated on the position and territory stats, this is a scary prospect, this Wallabies side, and they have a really bright future, the Wallabies. I think the question I ask, and guys, let me know your thoughts on this, will the Wallabies be competitive for the Lions Tour in 2025? From me, I think absolutely. Like, the way they are creating that physicality up front, you can just see that Joe Schmidt factor. They're a dangerous side. They've got some dangerous plays. They're starting to really gel quite well. And yeah, the other thing with the Wallabies, and guys, let me know your thoughts on this. I actually think they've got a number of players there that are close to, if not world class. You just look at players like Suali'i, phenomenal, genuine athlete, and he is really playing well at international level. But players like Mick Wright, man, he's playing well. Wilson, a genuinely quality leader now, his ball carries. He's gone up an absolute notch, hasn't he? Tom Wright, a really genuinely world-class fullback. They have really become, and the number of their players are becoming really genuinely world-class. Finally, players to watch. Look, I thought you look at the Irish side. Look, Jamison Gibson-Park, far out. He is class, isn't he, guys? Like, for me, it's just his general sort of nature. Like, he's just a raw competitor, isn't he? Like, his defense is solid. He's not a big man, but he gets in the face. He makes his tackles. He kicks well. He snipes well. His passing is good. His leadership, like, he's just such a competitor, a really quality player. A couple of players I have for the Ireland side is the Jack Crowley-Prendergast combination. Prendergast, I'm not quite sure I pronounced that right to the Ireland followers, but both of them I thought played reasonably well. But I just think, their passing, their kicking, their defense was solid, but that leadership with the attack execution is really still developing, and that was quite noticeable. Look, I think you got to say, look, after Johnny Sexton leaving, those two are still developing, and that attack execution, look, I thought it was pedestrian at best on a number of occasions by the Ireland side. So something for Andy Farrell to keep working on. Looking at the Wallaby players, look, as I've said, Harry Wilson, wowee, he's gone absolutely up a notch. Particularly what I've seen a massive improvement there from him is his ball carries. Like, he either charges and has a real brutal, fast hit at the line to make the advantage line, or he does a sort of ball carry and presents it nicely. But he doesn't get many turnovers against him with those ball carries. So Fraser McWright, wowee, guys. Like, let me know your thoughts on him. Is he the best open side flanker, a fetcher type player in the world right now? Like, you've got to ask that question. He was phenomenal. Particularly that turnover at the 61-minute mark was a massive moment in the game. But geez, he is such a genuine fetcher. But his ball carrying, his defense, he's a world-class player, Fraser McWright. And Joseph Suaalii, the $5 million man coming from the NRL to the Wallabies. Look, he's on a big payday, isn't he, guys? But look, he is playing pretty well, isn't he? Like, from someone who's come from the NRL, what I thought about him, he seems to read the game really well, doesn't he? Like, he knows when to span out. He knows when the players are going to hit a line and when to watch it. But he's also a genuine athlete. Like, he's a tall man. You can see the Wallabies are using him a few times with the high ball. I saw him put a few shots on there on defense. He's a hell of a player, guys, and he's only going to get much better come by the line. So, guys, look, in summary, I thought in the game, there wasn't much in the game, was there, guys? I thought the game could have gone either way. The Wallabies or the Ireland side could have won it. For me, I just thought the Ireland side, they took their chances when needed. In the second half, they had that killer blow, that maul try right at the end. 22-19 win to the Ireland side. And conversely, I just thought the Wallabies, they had their chances in that first half. They probably needed another 1, 2, 3 tries, etc. in that first half, and then they probably would have won the game. So congrats to Ireland, that they deserved winners in the game. And guys, let me know your thoughts on the game anyway. What do you think decided the result? Who are your key players from the match? What were the key moments? How do you see this Wallaby side progressing to the Lions series, guys? Do you think they're going to be competitive, or are we getting overconfident about the Wallabies? And guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. Please like, add any further comments you thought about the match. Cheers.